Hey, gang, welcome to another episode of Executive Espresso. And we have in the coffee shop today health and wellness mindset maestro, Justin Egliskis. And Justin is a holistic health hacker. He challenges all that conventional stuff that you see on social media, advocating that we align our lifestyles instead of just biohacking to focus on just the simple things with physical fitness and mental health that other folks often overlook. He is a autoimmune advocate. He's got a keen understanding of physiological health and shares some of those innovative mindset hacks that really promises to, as we had in a space yesterday, weatherproof your mental state, weatherproof your mindset. And he's going to be sharing some simple, everyday actions that innovators, business owners, business leaders can use, and even some recommendations for how to improve employee health for those of you that run companies. He's an engagement expert, and he knows how to get people engaged in healthy things for themselves. And so let's get him up here. Hey, Justin. Hey, thanks so much, man. Great to finally get you on Executive Espresso. But how did you get into all this health and wellness stuff?
You know, it's been a journey of having to feel what is in my life. And right, I know that we're all across the world and we all have different circumstances, different situations, different childhoods. And just the way I was raised, it led me to look internally and have to be honest about who I am and how I feel. And you know, the the entire journey of being honest with ourselves, I feel that's a great place to start. Like it's foundational. So I think that's what I got right there.
Well, so and you, I was looking over some of your content. You've got some great content, a great set of abs, by the way. You guys can see those abs down there. I used to have those once upon a time, and so you have a thing about alignment, not just biohacking, but alignment. And so, tell us what you mean by alignment.
Yeah. How do we define alignment? I mean, right? Practically, there are going to be physiological things that need to be done. So I'm not out here saying that biohacking is wrong or that it's bad. But overall alignment is kind of building off that. What does he mean when he says being honest with ourselves? Right? And I guess we're all dealt a certain hand, but you can start to see themes in your life about like who you are, what naturally interests you. And then we can also question where our other interests came from, right? Because sometimes we desire something, but we haven't been honest with ourselves about why we desire that thing. So I feel alignment, real simply, is probably having a clear and concise ability to question yourself, right? And then you riddle out what is misaligned. I don't think we can chase alignment. I think we have to feel what's not aligned and be honest with ourselves.
I love that because I talk a lot with people. They say things like, "I want to have a better relationship. I want to get in a better physical condition. I want to lose 15 pounds. I want to go to the gym 3, 4, 5, 6 days a week." And the essential question I find that people never answer is, but why do you want to do that? I mean, why not just stick with the status quo? There's a reason you're sitting on the couch eating Doritos all day. And until you figure out why am I sitting on the couch, why do I find value or meaning in sitting on the couch eating Doritos all day? And how does going to the gym or getting fit or getting just a set of abs, or even if I run a company, why do I care about my employees' health? So unless you really get down to the nitty gritty of if I'm a company owner, an entrepreneur, or innovator, why I really care about my employees' health, then I don't think that you're ever going to do that. And so, what are some tips that you share with people on how to gain that alignment and ask themselves those really probing, difficult questions?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think we probably do have to start at the root and understand, like, what is the meaning of alignment? Why care about asking ourselves real, precise, and honest questions? And it seems to be that, right, a lot of people in general, there's so many of us who have different specifics, whether it be excess money or beautiful relationships or certain talents. But there's moments in anyone's life, even the most successful people, where they sort of feel a hole, right? Because we're all human. We all have that heart. And so we're all going to get attached to things. And I feel maybe that's it right there, is understanding how we get attached and seeing what attachment does if we are attached without awareness. Because there's nothing wrong with finding yourself attached, right? I'm not here to judge the fact that we may be attached to something, but for us to be honest about, oh, wait, I am kind of gripping onto that. I feel that's one of the biggest parts, right? And we're talking also about business and innovation. Making money is so important, but we don't want to turn making money into just this obsessive numbers game either. We want to know, like, why are we building a business? What's the meaning behind the business? Hopefully I answered your
No,
question.
I love that. See, because as you're talking about that, I'm kind of figuring some things out. And one of those is dating way back to my early days in psychology that we don't just have attachments, we have a different level of strength to different attachments. And so if you're more attached to making money than having a healthy body, then making money is always going to take precedence over having a healthy body or healthy lifestyle. If
Mm.
you have more of an attachment to getting your way in a relationship than maintaining the relationship, then the
Oh,
strength of your attachment to getting your way is always going to outpace anything that is good for the relationship. And what we're really talking about are the hard things in life. And I have a question for you because, back to Justin Sixpack, I would guess that's not an easy thing to get or maintain. So, how do you discipline yourself that when one of those attachments, by the way, is comfort? How do you kind of, reduce your attachment to comfort and really increase your attachment that, look, I can't have great physical health, go to the gym, watch my diet, have a great nutritional plan, say no to that extra 1,000 calorie latte if I'm going to be in great health. So, how do you manage discomfort in your life? And by the way, folks, if you're listening, go ahead and put some questions in the chat. It's great to have Michael and my friend TMR here. TMR, chasing meaning over money. Yeah. I mean, that's a top level hack. But if you guys have some questions for Justin or myself, put those in the chat. I'll put them up here. We'll be glad to answer those. But how do you manage uh, uh, physical fitness and health over most every human's desire for just being comfortable?
and right, I heard you use the word discipline in crafting up that question. And oh, there's layers here. There really is. But holistically, right, if we're honest, that means we feel what we need to feel. And all of you listening, right, I know sometimes it's not easy to feel what you need to feel. But I promise you, right, if you go to the gym and you finish a workout and you feel how you feel after that workout, and then you feel how you feel when you're on the couch, you know, doing that, there's the beauties in the contrast. That means that we're not judging how we move, but to be disciplined, it's almost as if you see clearly what makes the most sense. And then right? You get to a point where you don't need to force yourself to go to the gym. Like the gym for me is almost my wind down. It's almost like, oh, after a lot of business, let me get to the gym. Like I need to get to the gym because I know it helps me reset, blow off whatever, right? If I'm sitting down doing business all day, we need an outlet physiologically. So I think maybe changing our relationship to discipline, like, is this is this something that I need to force myself to do? Or is it something that makes my days so much better? Right? And then just getting clear on where our priorities are.
I've experienced that myself going to the gym. And I think every time I go to do, which I'm going to do here after our interview, uh, one of my 3 weekly 5Ks. So I would normally have done it before this busy day, but I'm still going to do it because I committed to do it. So my brain will always say no to a hard exercise session, and it will want to opt for the comfort of not doing it. But I love what you said in doing that comparison. See if I can get on screen here. Doing that comparison between how do I feel when I've committed to something and then I go ahead and do it versus when I've committed to something and then I don't do it. What's the difference in that? And I think the difference is because I have let myself down. If I don't go ahead and live up to that commitment, I'll be more relaxed. I think I won't be sweaty. I won't be sore not doing those things. However, when you let yourself down by not following through on your commitments, your mindset actually takes a nosedive, and you're more likely the next time to let yourself down, and the next time to let yourself down, and the next time to let yourself down. And so I really think that actually writing down what Justin said, and yeah, what do I feel? And you guys know what I think about feeling. I don't really point my life in any kind of direction based on feeling, but I do think it is good data to look at and say, well, here's the result of keeping my commitment to the healthy workout, or the fasting plan, or the nutrition plan, or a relationship commitment. Here's the difference when I do it. Here's the difference when I don't do it. And I know you folks listening, you've been there and done that, because I have. When you've literally, it's not just about letting other people down, it's about letting yourself down. And I think Justin is a great example of a guy that, man, the proof, as they say, is in the pudding, is that you live a lifestyle where I'm going to guess that you keep your commitments to yourself. And so let's go on to the next question here. You talked about some schools, some institutions really don't want certain things known, certain truths known about health. So, how would you say that educational institutions or even employers can better prepare students in the case of schools, employees in the case of businesses, for better mental and physical health?
Maybe we can build off what I heard you say in the last response. And right, I'm not an advocate for necessarily always living off of feeling, but what I mean there is the nuance of how you broke it down so practically. The result of this, kind of dancing together with both the intuitive mind and the logical mind, allowing them to come together. That's probably pretty much the thing that we need in school systems too, is right now, right? I used to think that learning was memorizing. But guys, learning and memorizing things are not the same thing, because learning is real. It's in your heart. It changes how you speak, how you act, how you move. It changes what you are. Memory is the storing of knowledge. And we need knowledge. We need to build skill sets. I'm not saying don't build skill sets, but honestly, simply, that's probably where we need to start. Like school systems, we need to focus more on balance in terms of, all right, the heart, psychology, and then let kids freely explore their interest. Let's have a bit more optionality. Let's still have rules and structure. I'm not saying go haywire, but we need more of a balance, more freedom, more space for children, kids, they're so intelligent. What we do is we squeeze the intelligence out of youth, and that needs to change. That needs to change.
I agree. It dawns on me that kids naturally love to run and play and jump and do cartwheels and things like that. And then we really do kind of program that out of them. Here, sit still, stay in your seat, stop bouncing around. If you're jumping around too much, you probably have ADHD or some nonsense. We've got to slow this down. And then you get a lot of just really old, stagnant, boring adults. I think we should go the other way. I think that we should give employees perks for moving and jumping and moving around and doing cartwheels in the office and make fitness and mobility and flexibility fun again. I mean, can you imagine at IBM or somewhere, hey guys, it is 3 o'clock and it's cartwheel time. Don't hurt yourself, but everybody get up out of your desk and do something, move around or do something. So, given your focus on mindset, how can we in business really be examples of moving and flexibility and fitness, and how can we kind of de-stress high stress corporate environments, and how do you de-stress in your life?
Yeah, that's a brilliant question. I think so. In my life, in corporate environments, they're a little different, but I feel holistically, um, I don't know if this is going to be like a practical thing, like every corporation do this. I feel that would be too far of a stretch. But it is the essence of what I heard you say, man. And that is just to have some stretching or just a little playfulness, right? I don't know about cartwheels because that may be a little risky, but like, hey, can we stretch a bit in the office? Do we go on walks? For me in my business day, it's really that simple because I want to keep my energy right so that I can exert it into business. But I need some fresh air. I need some sunlight. So I think this isn't that crazy. It's just, right? People probably need a sport in their life, but I'm not saying you need a sport. It could be tennis, it could be martial arts, it could be swimming or surfing. Like you choose how extreme you want to go.
Could be
What's
Twister.
natural? Say that again?
It could be Twister. Pull out the Twister box, everybody. Now that may get you in trouble in the corporate culture, but not as a family. So do something like that. One of the things that I loved in my internship rotation in psychology, you have to have supervisory meetings with a supervising psychologist, and we would always do that supervision on a supervision walk. We would
Mm,
go for about, it was probably about a 2 mile walk or something like that. And I loved it. I mean, sometimes it was chilly, sometimes it was hot. As you notice, I survived it, did a little bit of sweating. I recall the first time I showed up in dress shoes. Uh, you know, we should dress appropriately for the activity we're doing. Dress shoes didn't work out too good on the walk, but I soldiered right through that thing. And so find some fun ways to do fitness. Imagine a CEO or COO, whoever, CTO, CFO, saying, guys, we're going to go do a bench press meeting. We're not going to lift heavy. We're going to keep it in check. We don't want anybody injured. But our meeting today is going to be around the bench press or some other, movement related activity. Why not have a stand up meeting, a walking meeting, a walk through the park meeting, a kite flying meeting? Imagine that. I'd love to see that in the Wall Street Journal. XYZ Corporation every, whatever Tuesday in March has a kite flying meeting and they discuss business. So, yeah, people get out on the golf course and have meetings, but let's mix it up a little bit. So, again, you guys are going to be wrapping up here in a few minutes. I really appreciate seeing Sherry here, my good friend, the Mental Reboot, Michael Holding. Good to see you here, too. And I'm putting some thoughts up here on the screen when you post it. But if you have questions for Justin, just shout them out. But real quick, we're going to go into our 15-second triple shot. So currently, Justin, putting Justin in the spotlight here. What is your own top mental struggle?
I would say resistance, and just noticing that resistance is probably the key. Like if you resist something, notice that you resist it,
Yeah.
then you can learn.
Why are you pushing back? Number two, what's your best mindset hack? Your top mindset hack that you're working on currently?
Um, in line with, right, how do you notice you're resisting something? It's this honesty, this observing of what you are, whether it be a boiling in your stomach, a hole in your heart, um, the walls closing in your lungs, feeling metaphorically, getting a little beyond the words, feeling
Yeah.
deeper.
Yeah. And what did you at one time, I know you know you forgot more about physical health than most people ever know, but what initially did you have most wrong about physical health, mental health?
I played football, and I was always a good athlete, but nutrition. Once I started consuming body weight in grams of protein, less carbohydrates, less sugar, more simple protein, not supporting inhumane factory farming, that's huge. That's really huge.
And we have a question from Michael. I didn't know whether to put him on the spot and put this on the screen, but uh, uh, Michael is recognizing that Justin's good looking. Hey man, what am I? Swiss cheese? I mean, look, I'm right here. I'm right on the other side of the screen. But what's your worst date? You don't got to answer that if you don't want. But what's your worst date? I know that's getting kind of personal.
Well, what's my worst date?
Your worst date, your most unfortunate date with somebody, and you don't got to don't
Oh,
not their name, but just a little bit of trivia from the life of Justin.
you this gives a great lesson, and that is like this whole past week I've been speaking on awkwardness in social situations. Let me tell you, it used to be so hard for me, and I bet you I'm not alone, how to end things. The date was beautiful. I just didn't end it smoothly. The entire date, we kayaked, it was fun, but my ending wasn't smooth.
A
So
kayaking
learn
date.
it,
Wow,
it was beautiful. It was fun. That's how I do things, nature.
that's
So
awesome.
so learning how to end, learning how to start, just being swift with your stop and go. I feel that's a great thing that all humans need to understand.
That is so awesome, and I'm so glad that Michael asked that question. That's great. My favorite dating story comes from one of the fathers of cognitive behavioral psychology, Albert Ellis, who was going to tackle his mindset about relationships, and he made the promise to himself, "I'm going to ask out 100 young ladies on a date." Of course, this is when he was very young. He's passed away now. And so he went to Central Park and sat on a bench daily until he actually tackled that. He actually asked 100 young ladies on a date. He says they all turned me down but one. But out of that 100 young ladies, I got one date and she stood me up. But the important thing is I kept my agreement to myself. And that's the important
Mm.
thing with mental health, physical health, is make a commitment to yourself. It's the most important person you can make a commitment to. Share that with other people. Reach out to Justin. Say, Justin, I saw you on Executive Espresso. Dr. Heath, I'm making a commitment to my physical health. Send me a DM or whatever. By the way, join my Mindset Masterclass over at school.com/mindset, school.com/mindset. And we have free lifetime memberships for a limited time. And we're going to help you out with those things. But reach out to us. So, Justin, how can folks get in touch with you?
Um, probably the simplest way would just be my name, Justin Egliskis, at Twitter. I do have hundreds of hours recorded on YouTube, hundreds of videos on YouTube. And yeah, I mean, start there. Go to the Twitter, go to the YouTube. The YouTube is the same as my Twitter at Justin Egliskis. And yeah, if you want to talk more, feel free to contact me. You can shoot me a DM. And yeah, I this was super fun, beyond
Thank you so
enjoyable.
much. I really
Thank
enjoyed
you.
it. And let's leave our audience with some top tier, positive, encouraging affirmation they can take into the weekend.
Right. Where do we start? I mean, guys, however your week's been, however your past few days have been, it's like taking a step back to do this simultaneously. Number one, zoom in. Look at the facts. Write down where things need to change. But zoom out and realize that it's only been a few days, it's been a few weeks. That what happens so frequently is that we zoom in so close on a given day, a given moment, a given relationship that we lose the holistic picture. But if you can simultaneously consider both the narrow road and the big picture, that's what I got.
I love that wise words. Thank you so much. And that's a lot to cram into an 18-minute interview, which is why we went over. It's longer than 18 minutes. It's one of those record interviews. But thank you so much. You guys take a look at what Justin has to do again. If you want to join the Mindset Masterclass, school.com/mindset, and join the conversation on getting fitter, both mentally and physically. Justin, thank you so much. Keep doing the great work you're doing. And guys, we'll see you on the next Executive Espresso. Bye bye now.
See ya.